Not everyone is born gay, lesbian, or bisexual. Nor does everyone feel like they were born the wrong sex and wish to transgender. Some LGBTQ+ members are the way they are due to being sexually assaulted at a young age. One such member is Alicia Santos, a 17-year-old high school student.
When I was younger, I was assaulted by a man, and that made me think men were superior. However, it happened again with a woman. I found out it happened to anyone, by anyone. And when I got older, I realized I kind of want to be a girl anymore. And that's one of the reasons, was not the only reason.
Felicia isn't the only one who feels this way. Big Papa Don posted the following on his Facebook in 2025. I wasn't born gay. I remember when I liked girls, but being molested by grown men makes you traumatically attracted to them. Me thinking that it was right, if that makes sense. It's fucked up. A VUMC news article showed the difference between straight people and homosexuals growing up and what they had suffered. 30% of homosexuals had suffered from sexual assault as a child. With so many different views on this topic, I held a Zoom interview with mental health therapist Angela Escalene to get her professional opinion on this matter. Sexually assaulted as when you're a minor, that it can affect a person's sexuality.
It can. It depends how resilient the child is. Now, there was some therapy involved, and if the child is resilient, then maybe they can try to live a normal life, but they might have issues of trust. Now, as far as their sexual preference, it can happen as well. If boys, for example, were molested at a younger age, it is more likely they will be introduced, like they were introduced to that as children when they were molested, so they have a tendency to lead towards homosexuality. Now, again, it depends on the resiliency, because children were molested who led or who try to lead normal lives with continuous therapy, because no matter what, it's traumatizing, and that's a scar you cannot erase. Now, the clients I had some gay clients. I wouldn't say all of them, but I would say like 7 out of 10 with the men were sexually molested as children, and that led them to be gay. And as far as women who were sexually molested, I say out of 10, 3 were gay because they didn't want to be touched. They had other ways of behaving too, and they could become to the point they don't want to be touched at all. That goes for both sides. And when they described the details of what happened, they were traumatized.
Not everyone in the LGBTQ+ community is a victim of childhood sexual assault. While there is a high number of people who are, and yes, children who are assaulted can become homosexual or wish to be transgenders, they're not all sexually assaulted. Some people were born gay, chose to become gay, or were born in the wrong body. Besides that, do you also believe that it could affect their choice of gender? While transgender is not a common thing, is a rare occurrence, even though society makes it seem more common and it's not, is usually a rare occurrence. So with transgender, do you believe, in your professional opinion, that it has to do with some of it, with the assault that they suffered as a child?
It can be. Now, just to go back in history a little bit, we have a DSM, which diagnoses and talks about mental illness. Back in the 70s, they considered homosexuality a mental illness. That was erased. And now it's more acceptable. It wasn't acceptable because we don't know who was hidden. Because they say, oh, you came out of the closet, or they were in marriages and they end up leaving their wives for men. So it can depend, again, on the person. Some may like, the fact that they were attracted to men in the beginning. It could happen. Usually, uh, there are behaviors that can be displayed it could be questionable, and I can give you an example. Um, this child was about 4 or 5, and he was playing with lipstick and wearing his mother's high heel shoes, trying to walk in them and things like that. And I saw apparently that this kid was like a homosexual. I just saw the tendencies, and sure enough, when I don't know how old he is when he came out, but he is gay. As far as molestation linked, again, it can occur. It can also be that if they were, okay, and give me an example. If they were attacked by a woman, or boys were molested by women, they might want to be girls, and vice versa with the girls, because they don't want to be touched, because they feel a sense of humiliation, disgust. It's just so much going on. It depends on the individual, depends on the mindset.
If you or someone you know are a victim of sexual assault, please reach out to the National Sexual Assault Hotline and get the help that you deserve.